All right, guys, welcome back to another Driver Focus episode. I'm joined by Andrew Moeller and joined by a Race Choice sponsored driver, Heath Miner, joining us from the state of Alabama. Heath, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thank y'all for having me.
Yeah, awesome. So we'll dive into it. We know you had a really good season. I've been following you this summer, just getting weekly updates on your racing throughout the season. So talk a little bit about your 2022 season and a little bit of your plans for this upcoming season.
Yeah, we had an up and down year. It was, we kicked it off well with some good runs, and then, the bad luck bug hit us. And that's part of racing. I feel like it hit us more this year than previous years, but, it is what it is. We just got to keep on digging and go with it. We hit on a lot of things, though, near the middle to end of the season. I think that will carry over into this season and make this season a little bit better. With the dirt stuff, it's hard to, you got to follow the track and, see what the track's doing, adjust to this and not adjust yourself out of it. So we did a little bit of under-adjusting, over-adjusting last year. Hopefully this year we can get it, nail on the head and make some better runs. But we're actually getting ready to go get my car on Sunday. It's getting a new body, getting a couple updates on the front end and stuff done, and we're going to pick it up Sunday morning, get it back here. Got to change the gear, and we'll be kicking off the 2023 season at Why Not Motorsports Park. It's a Mississippi Street Stock Series it's called the Battle of the States. We'll be kicking it off there. Planning on running the majority of the Mississippi Street Stock Series and then some of the Ultimate Street Stock Series races this year. Kind of following the money around the Southeast and running those types of shows again.
Sounds like you have yourself a busy season planned for sure. Like you said, the middle of the season comes and you kind of some people, like I know myself, get that bug or you just kind of hit that bad luck streak. How do you overcome something like that? It's tough, right, for all of us. But how do you kind of move on from that and move on to next week?
Well, for most racers, you kind of put it behind you and let it go. For us, we put it out for the world to see on YouTube, and it's a little tougher. We catch a lot of, or I have caught a lot of comments about, needing to get out of the car, and I just need to be behind the camera. And it's tough. It's tough when you have a bad season and just bad luck in general. But, like I said, what I'm looking back on last year is the positive stuff. We went to the biggest race of the year, and on practice night, I was, I think, fourth out of about 60 or 70 cars that showed up to practice. Went out for hot laps, broke a belt. Threw a belt on, went out to qualify, the belt broke again. Started at the back of the qualifying feature, was pushing the top 10, and the car started bopping for the year. We were one of the fastest cars there. We just couldn't catch a break.
Right.
So I'm looking at that. I'm looking at the positive, and that's what you got to do. You got to kind of just the negative, just tune out and go with the positive and run with it.
And it makes it, like, when you have a couple of bad weeks, it makes the good weeks even that much better.
It does. Right? There's just so much. There's so much unknown in racing. You're going to the track. You can have the fastest car week after week. You can go to practice. Something can break, and all of a sudden you're chasing your tail, and you're at the back of the pack. And you might have had the field by a tenth or two, or even 3/10 in practice. But here you are chasing your tail just to stay on the lead lap, just to finish a race. Cars falling apart. Your day can go from bad to worse or good to worse in just a matter of seconds. So, you really seem like you got a great head on your shoulders, thinking positive. So talk about a little bit more of 2023. You said Why Not Motorsports Park is the first race. When's that going to be, and is that kind of the track you're going to be running primarily?
So Why Not is, I would say, our home track. We got Why Not in Meridian, Mississippi, and then we got Magnolia over in Columbus, Mississippi. But the first race, like I said, will be the Mississippi Street Stock Series race over in Why Not, and that'll be on March 11th. And then from there, or March 4th, my brother is getting married on March 11th, so he's not going to make the race that weekend. And then after that, we're going to hit Magnolia Motor Speedway, we'll have a couple big races with the series. We're going to travel to Cherokee, South Carolina for some big races out there. We're going to go to Deep South down in Loxley, Alabama. We're planning to go to Livonia, Georgia for some big races.
Wow.
And then, I think those 3 tracks, and then Pike County that's in South Mississippi. Those are the kind of the tracks we're going to run mostly. This year I do want to run Why Not a lot more because we had the Street Stock Nationals there, which is the race that you guys actually came on and helped do a contingency sponsorship with last year. At that race, there's 120 street stocks that show up, and they start about 28 to 30. And then at the end of the year, Livonia is going to have a 10,000 to win race down there, and then we come back to Why Not for the Street Stock World Championship. That's going to end up paying about $12,000. So we want to hone in on Why Not this year and kind of prepare for the Nationals and prepare for the Street Stock World Championships for sure.
I mean, it sounds like a lot like, Andrew, you travel a lot for racing. So, I mean, you can relate to it's fun, especially when you're running well. But, having that one track like Why Not is kind of a confidence booster. If you're running well there, it's kind of more of an incentive to, hey, I want to travel some more. We're running really good at one spot. Let's try to go and spread and make a name for ourselves. Is that kind of your mindset?
Yeah, we like traveling. We actually started traveling with the mini stops several years ago, and the local stuff just kind of got old. I'm not trying to toot my own horn or our own horn or anything, but we could win week in and week out, kind of. When we were running the local stuff in the mini stops. So we started branching out and going, traveling to the 1,000 to win races and this and that. Well, then we finally made the transition to street stocks, and the Mississippi Street Stock Series was becoming bigger and bigger, and there was bigger and bigger races. And now the Ultimate Street Stock Series are running even bigger races. So we like running with the best each weekend. And to me, you can find a local track and go race and, have a great time. There's nothing wrong with that. But we like doing it. We like chasing the money. We like running against the best in business. And that's what we're planning on doing.
No, it definitely sounds, like something a lot of people would like to do. I mean, you get to race against different guys, all the time, right? There's different guys at different tracks, and some guys are just really good at one track. And, do you like racing against, different guys every race that you go to, or do you like kind of running against the same guys?
It's crazy because our local guys here, the majority of them, I'd say all but, a handful really travel and run the big stuff. So, yeah, like when we go to Georgia, there's different cars there. And it's, it's fun to run against those guys, but honestly, with all the series races, normally you're going to see kind of the same kind of probably 12 to 15 cars travel together, and then you're going to have your 15 to 20 local guys that race. But, I think the street stocks, everybody kind of knows each other. We ran all around the Southeast, so there's not a, there's not a track we go to that, there's an unknown, master of the track that shows up and takes our money or anything. I mean, normally everybody's pretty competitive, everywhere we go.
Yeah, that's cool. So I know we kind of talked about now, 2022, 2023. Let's go back a little bit. Let's talk about how you got started and what kind of got you into racing, and talk about you and your brother racing and all the stuff that goes with that.
Yeah, so I really can't remember how old I was when my dad started. I don't remember him not racing. So he started when we were sneaking into the pits, laid under blankets in the backseat of the truck, and he, like I said earlier, he started on asphalt. We were at Birmingham International Raceway. It was a big half-mile track up in Birmingham. We started there and just, loved going. If he was going, I was doing anything I could to jump in the truck and go with him. He transitioned to dirt, and he ran one dirt race, and I don't think he ever got back into an asphalt car. He just went straight to the dirt track, loved it, went from there. So then my brother, he started when he was 14 years old. I was about 11 or 12 when he started, and he started in a mini stock. We used to run little Toyota Corollas, little 4-cylinder cars, and that's what he started in. That's what Dad was running. And then when I was 13, I started that season and started in the mini stocks, little Toyota Corollas, and it was, at one point, it was me, my brother, my dad, and then my granddad. We were all racing against each other. So it's all been a family thing for us, and that's what we always talk about when folks ask us about racing. It's a family thing. It's something that we did with our dad growing up, and it's something that my little boy right now loves, and hopefully he does it with me as he grows up. So Dad did it. He got us a car. He asked us. He said, "If you want to race, it's great. If not, then you don't have to." But we, of course, wanted to. And so he's kind of down a little bit. He races every now and then. We got him a factory stock last year to race, and then me and Bo are running the street stocks right now, my brother. And so we're still having a good time, all three of us traveling around the Southeast racing together. So it's fun. We enjoy it.
That's awesome. I mean, and the age gap. How old are you and your brother, Heath?
So Bo, you're gonna make me lie to you. Bo just turned 34 or 35. I think 35. And I'll turn 33 in July. So. Okay. It's about 2.5 years.
Yeah. Now, do you guys race against each other often, or is it kind of? So is it a weekly thing?
Every week.
Every week. Okay.
Yeah. So anytime we're on the track, it's against each other. Well, most of the time, as long as both of us go. But yeah, we race against each other. So we probably gave my mom a lot of gray hairs growing up racing against.
Yeah. Now you know what we're gonna ask is
is there some battles?
Ever been any run-ins at all, or any anything along the lines of that?
It's funny y'all ask that because we've actually, I was telling you earlier before we started this about the interview we did a few weeks ago, and it's a possible racing documentary type deal, and she asked us the same type of deal, and so yeah, we had a little run-in at Magnolia in the mini stocks, and it wasn't just a 1 week thing. It kind of carried over until the point where Mom. She got there and said, "Look," she said, "it's ending, or y'all can park them." So it's it's happened. It hasn't happened recently, but it's definitely happened. And if he's next to me, I'm going to race him as hard as the next guy. And right. if we're door to door for $12,000 at the end of the year, he's catching the door coming off. I see that.
Now it's serious when Mom steps in, right?
Oh, yeah. When Mom stepped in, we dialed it back. We stayed away.
Yeah. No, that's cool. I mean, hey, how cool is it to have a brother you race, side by side with, battle with, and, still get to have Thanksgiving together, it's and tell stories like that for years, right? I mean, that's got to be super cool.
Yeah. Back on February 1st, beginning of this month, we did an interview with Keith Rocco, who is one of our Race Choice sponsored drivers as well, and he has a twin brother.
Thinking about that
twin brother, Jeff Rocco. Doesn't race as much anymore. He'll step in once in a while. I think he ran a couple of tri-track races last year at Waterford. We asked him about him and his brother's run into, and there was a race, 2016 opener. They went into turn 3, battling for the lead, and just cleaned each other out, both backed into the wall, totaled the cars.
And his brother was using the brother that Jeff was using Keith's trailer and just the whole thing. So it's
a total mess. So whenever we hear,
aren't the only ones, right?
Yeah, whenever we hear brothers run in, we have to. It's just so much entertainment that comes with it,
Yeah.
One of the worst times was at a big mini stock race down in East Alabama, and both started near the front, kind of 6th, 7th, somewhere in there. Well, I had issues on Friday night, so I started in the back. Well, I made my way up. I think Bo was running 3rd, and I passed him for 3rd. And we were coming out of turn 4, and it was one of those things, we call it running out of talent. I just ran out of talent coming off 4, and just as pretty as you could be, just turned, and when I looked, there was Bo, and we hit and went into the infield wall, and where we hit the wall, I'm not kidding, Dad was parked watching right there. So all he saw was just us coming to the wall. That was probably the worst time for sure.
Yeah. We got a lot of good stories to tell. I mean, every time we're doing these interviews, we just hear these new stories. It never gets old.
No, it doesn't. It's so good to hear. Like, obviously you're
the good and the bad.
Different part, of the country, right, from us. Obviously, we're up here in New England, but it's good to hear like all these stories. Like, it's similar to stories that we know from up here, and it's cool to see that the exact same stuff is happening down in the South there
racing
too.
Circles are racing circles.
Yep. No, it's racing is racing.
Racing.
That's right. So that's cool to hear. So I know you touched on the YouTube stuff a little bit. Talk about that a little bit and what you guys do with that.
The Minor Boys.
It just kind of started one time where I'd watched Hunt Front. Everybody knows about Hunt the Front. Watching them, and I texted Bo and I said, "Man, that'd be cool to do." And he said, "Well, let's do it." All right. Well, everybody asked about the name, the Minor Boys. The grammar's terrible, whatever. But my granddad used to say that he always wanted to roll into a racetrack, and the other drivers look and said, "Man, the Minor Boys are here." So I guess we're running for third or fourth. And so that's kind of where the name came from. But we're, we started just with an iPhone and we videoed around the shop, took the iPhone to the track, had somebody video the race for us. And, on my iPhone, I got on iMovie and edited everything and uploaded it straight from my phone. We didn't have GoPros at that point. We didn't have any cameras or anything. We just strictly did it from an iPhone just to do it. And then it gained ground, fairly quick. And we just kind of hung at it. And I tell everybody this, that if you want to do YouTube, it is a grind. It's not.
Absolutely.
You're not going to be making hundreds and thousands of dollars. I mean, we're still not doing that by any means. But it's a grind. But through our racing vlogs, through our shop vlogs, through all that, we have made so many connections. Like it's the network you gain is crazy. One of my favorite places to go right now, and I've only been one time, but the time that I went was so much fun. Cherokee, South Carolina, which is probably 7 hours away. I mean, we had folks message us, "Hey, if you need a shot, we got you." And then people come up. We probably sold the most shirts that we have ever in Cherokee, South Carolina. That we don't know anybody up there, and then like I said, it's just the network that you gain and the fans that you gain. I always like to ask on our videos where everybody's watching from, and we get all over the United States, and then we get Australia, New Zealand, like Europe. I mean, it's just crazy, how many people watch and tune in. And, as I was referring to earlier, we got contacted by a lady from the United Kingdom, and she actually works for a production studio, and we did a interview with her. She is kind of trying to get some stuff together for a dirt track racing documentary. We were fortunate enough to get a little interview with her, and I got an email today just asking for another interview with her. So
good for you.
That's very good. Awesome.
But without YouTube, it never would have happened.
Yeah, and so how many?
We kicked off for fun, but I mean, it's turned into something really, really good for our racing program.
And how many subscribers you guys got over there on that?
We are right around 9,000. We've been trying to get.
That's awesome. That's
incredible.
I know it's like. We've tried to do it, like I've tried to do some of it before, and it's like you get to that, like, to try to get to that 1,000 subscribers is like just such a grind, right? Like you were talking about.
Hit that plateau, and it's like, just where's it going to go from here?
Like using iMovie, iPhones. I mean, iMovie, like to use an iPhone, it's such a great tool. Like you can, do so much with it just, being on a phone. But I mean, the grind is unbelievable to just be able to make videos every single week and making sure someone's taking the right videos, going through it, editing, and still trying to obviously work on your race cars and your day job. It's definitely not easy by all means, but props to you guys for sticking with it and just staying with the grind. Seriously.
Yeah, we're trying. I've seen more YouTube channels come and go in the past few years. years since we've been doing it, then you get all the messages. Hey, what do y'all use for your camera? What do you edit with? And then you see a channel pop up, and then it's they don't post forever because it's tough. And I try to tell everybody that it's tough. It's a grind for sure.
Yeah, and you spoke about the t-shirts. I think after this, I'm gonna have to text you tonight. Definitely want one of those. Me and Andrew have shirts. We'll definitely propose a trade or something. But those look hot. We'll definitely wear them.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, we like that. So I'll open this up to you a little bit. Obviously, 2023 going to be a big year for you, as you explained. Who has helped you, been such a part of your racing career so far, and your brother, if you want to speak on your brother's behalf as well, and who would you like to thank for making the 2023 season possible this year?
Man, I can't thank anybody before I thank my dad. He's footed the bill more than I have for sure.
Which is good sometimes.
Yeah. He's footed the bill more than sponsors have. I mean, for years. But without him, I probably wouldn't be racing right now. I mean, it's tough, from a financial standpoint. So a big thanks to him and my brother. There's been weeks where I can't get off, and they help get the car ready, and we help each other out. So us, and then my wife and little boy, and then my mom, and then my brother's fiance. I mean, we sacrifice a lot to do what we do, and I can't thank all of them enough for their help. First and foremost, I definitely can't thank anybody before them. And then you guys. I mean, this year was awesome. Just one, learning about y'all, finding y'all, and then kind of looking at what y'all do, and y'all were giving back to us, the racers. There was some of us that were sponsored drivers for 2022 that, it helped. I would slam the wall and get on Race Choice and order a ball joint, order some tie rod ends and some hives and stuff, and be good to go. So big thanks to you guys for one, what y'all did, this past year. What y'all continue to do is giving back to the racers. That's awesome. I wish more companies did it. So big thanks to y'all. Powered Rubber Supply here down in Tuscaloosa. They're one of our big sponsors for each year, about the past 3 years or so. Hammond Motorsports, those guys are awesome. Mr. Dave is a genius. He will fabricate and come up with anything for a race car. Stone Motorsports, the pit skylights, we stand out in the pits because the skylights are so bright that we got. And Stone Motorsports, they're good folks down there. Camper Kingdom in Meridian, he's actually the flagman at Wine, and he came up and wanted to help us out a little bit, and said, well, sure, we'll take it. Dirt Swag on Facebook, they're an apparel company that has pretty cool shirts and hats and all that. He'll send us a box of shirts every now and then, some hats. He noticed on my videos my hats were getting kind of nasty, so he sent me some new hats. Go Lithium Batteries, those guys have been great to work with over the past year or two. And then, like I said, all the YouTube subscribers, we make a little bit. Everybody wants to know how much money you make. We're not making a living. We're not supporting racing, but it's more than that for us. We have people that we've become friends with and really close friends with from YouTube. So a big thanks to everyone that watches us on there. It means a lot when you wake up in the morning and you got 5,000 or 10,000 views on your video you posted the night before. So big thanks to everybody there too. But mostly family. Got to stick with the family for sure.
No, awesome. It's
really cool.
It's been a great conversation. Yeah. Seriously, I mean, we really appreciate you, giving us the time of day to sit down with you, talk with you a little bit. Sounds like have a great season planned, and man, you've done some cool things. Obviously, you and your brother got some cool stuff coming up. Obviously, this year. I mean, YouTube channel. I mean, it's definitely going to be a good year, right?
Yeah, I sure hope so. I'm excited to get it going. I think, like I said, we hit on some things last year. I think we're going to be, racing for wins, not racing to make shows. I feel like last year we were racing to make a show. This year I want to be racing for the wins for sure. So we're going to give it our best, see what we can do.
That is the mentality to have.
True. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, Heath, we appreciate you joining us today. best of luck in 2023, as well as your brother. Give your brother, our best of luck. You guys are definitely doing a lot in the racing community, whether it's on the track and off the track, like your YouTube series. So best of luck this year, and we appreciate being part of Team Race Choice.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you very much. Good luck this year. Make sure you guys go and subscribe to the Minor Boys YouTube channel.
Right.
After you subscribe to the Race Choice channel, give them.
If you're doing one, you got to do the other.
That's right.
I'll send some of y'all's way.
Perfect.
Sounds good.
Really appreciate it. And
don't forget the shirts.
That's right.
Yeah. Hey, text me sizes. I got you.
Will do. Best of luck this year. Thank you.
Yeah, thank y'all for everything. Best of luck to y'all in 2023 as well.
Thank you.